Several times I'd go downtown in Manhattan, and someone would stop me and say, "Aren't you Steve Hamilton?" This made me feel all puffed up. It made me feel good that people knew me, whether guys admit it or not. I think most of them feel good when they're recognized. They feel like there's something special. Everybody gets a kick out of feeling special. I think it's one part of this game.
Action.
I've never been a big star. I've never done anything outstanding. I feel I've been as good as I can be with the equipment I have. I played with Mickey Mantle, and now I'm playing with Willie Mays. People always recognize them. Yogi Berra, people always recognize him. Yogi has a face you couldn't forget. But for someone to recognize me, age is very important in baseball. If you got two prospects of equal ability, one kid's 20 and I'm 23, they're going to take the kid that's 20. They think they're going to have it longer. That's why it was important to the scout that I was 21. Scouts get back some money if you make it to the big leagues. Most of us in baseball who are 30 are considered old men. A lot of times when Larry Jensen wants me to go into the bullpen, he says, "Pappy." I don't feel old, but in baseball, I'm ancient. In the minor leagues, we spent a lot of hours riding in buses. They were so hot and you didn't have too many stops to eat. You ate poorly because you had bad meal money. We got about $1.50 a day, but you were young. When I was with a Class B league, I got a long distance call from my wife. She went into the hospital in labor. It was the first baby. I had to get home. The ticket was $40-some. We didn't have that between us. The managers and everybody. I had to be there a day late. I thought baseball players made a lot of money. That's why I wanted to play. Loving the game too. People say we're lucky we have airplane travel. It means we can schedule more games. We play 162 games now. Before, we played 154 in the same amount of time. Now, we play more night games. Last night, we played a game in St. Louis. It was over about 10:40. We had to get dressed and take a 45-minute bus ride to the airport. We took our short 55-minute flight to Chicago. We had another 35-minute bus ride from the airport to downtown. We got in here last night around 2 o'clock. The bags were late coming in. They had a mix-up. That was such a good one until I met 3:30, we're still waiting up for our bags. It adds up to a real long night when we had to play a game today. There's a rule that says if there's a flight 1 hour and a half or less, you can schedule a night game and a day game the next day. The old umpire who said, "You can't beat them hours," that was another time. Another thing, when you travel by train, you don't worry so much about crashing. Everybody in the back of their mind thinks about it. There's a little bit of worry, especially in bad weather. We were coming home from Milwaukee last year, and while we were bouncing around, coming in for a hairy landing, P.D. Ward said, "Babe Ruth never hit 60 home runs traveling like this." I don't know. The tension's really rough. On the train, they relaxed. They talked, they slept. When they came in, they didn't go from one bus to another. I don't think conditions are that much better now. People criticize pitchers, but in the past few years, the baseball is hotter. It's wound tighter and can go further. Anybody can hit a home run now. Everybody swings for the fence, and you're more nervous about throwing a strike. Old-timers say they just reared back and threw the ball. Now you can get wild because you're hesitant and throwing the ball over the plate, so it makes the game longer. Recognition, fame. I think of the time I stood outside my house in Charleston, Indiana, a two-tone brick, and I threw a baseball where the two colors met. I hit it over and over and over again. We caught flies where it got too dark to see, just hours and hours and hours and hours. That's what most of us have done.